That's an odd request, Mauricio. That is a very, very odd request. Not even sure how to respond to that. What's up, Grant? What's cracking? Not even seeing my own art here. Just a kind of an alternate version of a character from a He-Man fan comic. For the planned continuation of that story with characters that I can own on my own, I've kind of redesigned a lot of them, so it's my thing. So pardon my hiccups. guess it. No, it's just that Mitch always does them on a Wednesday, and I've actually messaged him asking. I wasn't sure what time he actually starts because Wednesdays I usually have my kids, but I don't today. And when I get done dropping off my kids is when I usually kind of drop on in and watch and see what's going on. But I didn't want to like step on his toes because that's kind of I think of that as his time, you know. So I've actually messaged him. I was trying to ask him when does he actually get started, and just to kind of coordinate. But I figured while I was waiting for a response, I might as well just start drawing for a bit anyway. Do you know what time he starts? Well, if I get a hold of him and, he was okay with that, that would be fun. You have these brats every day. Yeah, yeah. It feels like it's later on in the evening ish. I didn't know for sure, obviously. So, like I said, I wanted to clarify for him. So I sent him a message. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. Um, like if he's going to start in an hour or something like that, I'm like, all right, I'll go for an hour, and then I could cut out, and depending on what he's interested in. But we got a lot of crossover fans, and they kind of expect to jump on to see him. So I'm not trying to like get on here and be in his way. So that's why I'm trying to be respectful to his time and his space and shit. Oh, there he is. Okay. Mitch, yeah, I sent you a message. I assume you maybe saw. Yeah, I was just saying I didn't know when you started, so I didn't want to step on your time at all. So I just thought I'd get started early, but I still wasn't sure. Oh yeah, I sent it to you just a little bit ago. Sorry, I know it's kind of random. Oh, Latique Curry, my man. Hey, I got your package in the mail, man. The mailman. So thank you again, once again, multiple times, multiple ways. Latique, I owe you multiple times over. But yeah, Latique Curry, man, thank you. As always, man. I hope you're doing well. I think I've got him just sitting right here next to me. I got so many things. Latik, you've been busy. Latik, where is this Spawn thing from? Is this out of a action figure? Is that what this thing is from? This Spawn thing? Because it says Todd Toy, so I was wondering if this was specifically out of a, like, one of the first releases of, like, the Spawn toys back in the day. You watched the Planetary video, the one that made me mad? Yeah, it's a really weird little artifact. I thought this thing was, like, it's kind of silly and dumb, but for kids at the time in 94, I bet this was just badass to them. So it was kind of a fun thing. This is probably going to get looked at first. Yeah, this is a really odd kind of like what a cover, right? I mean, was the action figure standing in front of this or something? Hey, what's up, Adam? Yeah, it's your. Oh, with the Planetary, that's your least favorite issue? Yeah, like I said in the video, I was so cheesed off at like we wait all this time for this sitting around philosophical conversation, which in retrospect, after the fact, is actually reasonably entertaining. You know, Warren Ellis had something to say for sure, but goddamn, when you're waiting months and months in between issues, oh, I was pissed off. Like the Master of the Universe mini comics, his book is ostensibly the manual showcasing all the gimmicks of the playset. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, again, I have to keep reminding myself, like, this is the dumbest thing ever. But I'm like, well, what was it made for? When was it made, and what was it made for? It listed it was printed in '94. It's made for kids buying his comics, and at the time, that was a big deal. I'm like, all right, right. Can't have harsh judgment on everything. I mean, I do, but Monty. Johnny Bravo. This is just a design of my own character that I'm just farting around with. It's nothing special. Spawnmobile and overt kill. That was definitely why overt kill existed. I had a version, one of the original Spawn action figures, and I kept it in the package for a long time because I thought it was important. It was precious cargo. And then after, I don't know, a year or two, I think, I was just staring at this fucking thing. I just wanted to touch it and play with it. It's starting to sound like a dirty live stream. So I opened it up, and I was kind of underwhelmed. And like, it was fine. He stood there. He's got a big plastic cape. It's Spawn. And then it's gone. I don't know where it's actually at. I wish I kept on to hold on. Help. Words are hard. I wish I held on to it. Not because it's worth anything. I don't think any of those are. But I just kind of wish I'd kept it just from my own personal kind of like, oh, I still have this stupid thing. Because I hold on to everything. Yeah, Latika used to bring the actual Spawn mobile to shows at Funny Car, right, with the giant back wheels and stuff. Didn't he go out of his way to sell that thing a couple years ago? I seem to remember looking at a video of it and like had flat tires and shit. It clearly hadn't been looked at in a minute. He's like, I'm trying to sell the Spawn Mobile, bud. You know you want the Spawn Mobile. Yeah, Overkill was created. I remember that Stan Lee video where they kind of created that figure right there on the board. It was kind of weird, like that McFarlane decided to take that thing and just run with it. He's like, you know what? We come up with this thing. I'm going to just keep it. But why waste a design that people know? I mean, ever the entrepreneur, I guess, right? Why not? And it's not like Overt Kill was ever an interesting character. He's just like a big loudmouth that shows up and can blow things up and then have his head separate from his body and fly off and go punch Badrock. And then Badrock can sit there and scream at it and then punch it until it flies away. And like, there's no character there. It's just a design to sell toys, like they were saying, right? I gotta buy more baseballs, bud. I got baseballs. I spent $3 million on this baseball, bud. Monty, you're not sure which you like better, my McFarlane or my Prophet. That Prophet's become a thing. Like, now I can't do it. I can't do a Prophet video without doing the stupid. You said that we would not have to fight. I mean, I won't, but it's crossed my mind to like dip into one of those stupid AI generators and tell it to generate a video of the comic book character Prophet speaking dialogue, but in the Forrest Gump voice, so we could actually hear it for real. I don't even know where to start with that shit, and I'm not going to do it, but I've thought about that. It's like, well, now I kind of want to hear it. But until then, until someone else decides to do it, we're just stuck with listening to me do it. Panda, what's up, dude? Yeah, it's got a mean, screamy looking face guy. Can't be in a comic book unless you're screaming at things, right? That's the Liefeld raison d'etre. First, you thought I was drawing Rhino? I mean, I could see that. A version of Rhino. I'm not even exactly 100% sure what Rhino looks like outside of the version in the... Yeah, that's the Spider-Man villain, right? Where it looks like he's got like a leathery kind of hide. Screaming, jumping, or punching. That would be a funny, like, Liefeld parody comic. Just call it Screaming, Jumping, Punching. So many possibilities. Be funny if somebody generated that AI thing and then someone forwarded it off to Liefeld and then just watch him come unglued. Prophet is a powerful and ancient warrior, and he deserves more respect. He is not Forrest Gump. Who come up with this crap? When in doubt, add vertical 2-page spreads of a tech-based raid. I mean, that's the name of the game. I literally have a video coming out tomorrow. It's issue 0 of Bloodstrike Assassins, and then kind of casually glancing through issues 1 and 3 of Bloodstrike Assassins. And I actually, literally, I'll show you evidence. I lost a part. Well, I literally ripped up a comic on camera. I was like, these are such fucking garbage. I literally ripped the comic in half right there at the end. The only problem with that is Liefeld is never in doubt, right? You know what, Roland? You're actually exactly correct. You're exactly right. That is exactly what this is. So, good observation, good eye. The resale value. I have the bottom half here somewhere, but it seems to have ran off somewhere. It's sitting here somewhere. It's not the first time I've torn up a comic on camera, but it has been a minute since the last time. My brother and I, we got together quite a while ago and reviewed, I think it was Deathmate Gold. And that comic did not survive the end of the video. We shredded that one to pieces by hand, and we had a great time. And we ripped that one to like multiple pieces. It wasn't just like a single rip like that one. Did I draw on that issue first? I actually thought about it. I actually think I have 2 copies of this. That's why, 1, I didn't care if I ruined it because I have another one. But 2, I don't care that I have another one because once I'm done reviewing these Extreme Studios book, they go into a pile of shit that I'm like, I will never look at these again. You know, there's stuff that I do revisit periodically. Like, hey, I looked at this 3 years ago when I had 200 subscribers. So now that there's more, I feel like it's kind of okay to, you know, flip through it again. But, yeah, I got a pile of books that I'm just like, I'm never, ever going to look at these again. Recycle them. They were thinking cha-ching, right? By destroying that comic, I've increased the value of others. I've actually thought about taking and because again, I've got a bunch of books that I've just collected on my own, just in general, and then since I've had the channel, I've increased a certain amount of books that I got just for the channel that I won't be using again. So I'm like, I might take them and donate them to somewhere, and you know, put them out there for somebody somewhere, something. I would really like to find somewhere for them to go. Like, not too long ago, I was shouting out that I had this whole big box of continuity comics. I reviewed them all because somebody sent me. I had like 50 books or something like that. It's ridiculous. And I kind of casually flipped through all of them on the channel for a video once. But I'm like, I don't want these. I will never look at these again. So I was like, if there's anybody that wants these things, if you'll just pay for shipping, you can have them. I'd rather they go to someone that wants them. And that actually worked out. Somebody hit me up and was like, dude, I want every one of those continuity books. You just tell me what the shipping would be. And so they're in Vegas now, I think. And I'm like, great. That's all I wanted. Anybody accuses you of being a poser, you bust out the complete Bloodstrike run and shut them down. You're like, I'm a true comic book collecting mother effer. Look at this. I got Bloodstrike. I got every issue. Liefeld keeps telling us that there's going to be a movie, and we all believe him. Yeah, you know what I keep that you say dump them at the Goodwill. I've never actually looked to see. No, Roland, 100%. A guy hit me up. He wanted them all. I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I want all those continuity books." I'm like, "All right, great." You know, it'll happen one of these decades. Yeah, the Bloodstrike movie. He'll probably just generate it on AI and be like, "See, I told you. You guys are a bunch of idiots." I even was able to offload from my J. Scott Campbell Kickstarter art book. For those who watched, there were 2 copies of issues 1 and 2, just reprints with new covers, and then a stupid patch. And I was like, "Hey, does anybody want this?" Like, and I even had a guy on the channel, on the comment section, start giving me shit like, "You actually tried to start a bidding war, and you think somebody's going to buy that shit?" Guess what? Somebody did. Somebody paid $30 for the 2 comics and the patch. So, again, I don't want them. I love Danger Girl, but I already have the comics, and I was happy to send them to somebody that wanted them. So again, if somebody's willing to pay the shipping, like, McFarlane's Sam and Twitch movie, yeah. I appreciate his tenacity and keep trying to make the Spawn thing happen. I think that there's a potential good Spawn movie that can be made. It needs to be better than whoever the hell made that last garbage one. And it needs to be taken out of McFarlane's hands. It needs somebody who knows how to make, like a real filmmaker, who gets the kind of aesthetic point of what works, but willing to change the sillier stuff and just focus on the stuff that would work cinematically, if that makes sense. I think there's a potential for a good Spawn movie, but I don't think it's going to happen. And again, I don't think it's going to happen with McFarlane demanding that he be the one to direct it, because he's like, "I'm the one who understands what it should be, so who better than me?" I'm like, "A good director? Give it to Christopher Nolan or something." There's next to nothing to work with. Well, and that's what I'm saying. You need to have a director who can look at the material and see what works on whatever level, and then build on it from there. You can make a story about, the redemption and the afterlife and missing your family, and have some cool visuals and heaven and hell. I don't know. Again, I don't think it'll be easy, but it's possible, but I don't think it'll ever happen. Jeez, Renner getting eaten by that snowplow. And Fox having that aneurysm. Did Jamie Foxx have an aneurysm? I don't remember hearing about that. That sucks. I hear you, Mitch. Like I'm saying, it's kind of a far-fetched idea, but if you get the spirit of it right, it might work. Maybe. I might also maybe be crazy. What of the early Image Founders comics actually has any kind of cinematic potential? Can you imagine a Wildcats movie, or a Cyberforce movie, or a Wetworks movie? They'd basically all be the same thing. Team of tough guys shooting lizards or mechanical bad guys. Yeah, Maurice, none. they base a movie on a comic book with ideas? See, there you go. See, I think there's something to work with Dragon potentially, but the visuals it'd be hard to make the visuals match because it's such a big character and there's all these big ridiculous monsters that again by the time you try to make a movie you might drift away from the core concept. Some things only work in comics, like we all know that. I would like to see a dragon cartoon. I keep thinking that it would be awesome if, like, I don't know, Amazon, kind of like with Invincible, grabbed onto Dragon and it's like, we're going to make a very adult version of the Dragon. Like, if they made it almost exactly like the comic in its original form, its first couple of years, with the super brutal violence and stuff like that. Because I really feel like Larson knew how to lean into, like, beside when you get past the superheroic action, fighting, screaming, punching, he knew how to put in like real human moments. And that's what kept my attention for so long, is that once all the blood and guts are done flying, the characters reacted and felt like actual people as opposed to like literally any other book. Yeah, and then I know there was a dragon cartoon, but once I heard what it was like, I never even bothered to try to seek it out. I'm like, there's no way it's going to be even a fraction as close to the awesomeness of the book. So it's just going to be watered down silliness, and I don't care. So I to this day I've never seen an episode. I tried watching Wildcats once, and I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. It's like, I guess if somebody approaches you, an animation studio, and like, hey, we're going to make a cartoon of your thing, and the pitch would be like, it's going to increase awareness, it'll put a bunch of cash in your pocket suddenly, blah, 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 blah. But at what point are you concerned about damaging your brand? You know? Yeah, they were trying to do the X-Men cartoon. There was even they made a lot of progress on a Cyberforce cartoon. Liefeld, what did he say? He dumped $800,000 of his own cash into that little, whatever it was, 30-second short or whatever of that Youngblood. Like, this is what this could look like. That's a lot of money to blow. Then have come nothing. But I guess when you're rolling in millions of dollars like Liefeld was, I guess you can afford to blow 800,000. Right, the Max. I keep forgetting about that. I keep forgetting about it because I never really got the Max. It wasn't my favorite thing, but I did watch some of it, and I'm like, holy shit, they stuck exactly to the comic. Like, they took the comic and just made that animated. And I thought that was pretty dang neat, honestly. Yeah. So that was at least a worthy attempt. Like, that was something that Sam Keith could walk away from going, they just made my comic. They just took it and animated it. And you don't have to feel bad about it, as opposed to PlayStation 2 graphics ending of the Spawn movie. It's just unbelievable how shit that was. And they still released it. Yeah, there's a lot of shots that straight up recreate panels from the Max. Yeah, that's the thing. They were film students who didn't know they could stray from the source material. Is everyone else digging the Invincible cartoon as much as me? I find that incredibly interesting. I don't know if I've had much of a conversation with any of you folks about it. I enjoy it a lot because they primarily just stick exactly to the comic. I remember sitting there going like, oh my God, we're getting into the Viltrumite War. Oh my God, I can't believe they're actually doing this. This is going to be so great. And they just recreate the comic right there on the you know, right there in the animated show. I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah, I feel like the animation could be better. I mean, I always feel like that way about anything animation. I've talked about this recently. Ever since I watched some like for real top tier Japanese anime, everything else just pales by comparison. So it's like, nah, this is okay. But once I've seen Ghost in the Shell, I'm like, and I know everything can't be that level. Like I totally freaking get it, but it kind of just killed all my interest in any other animation. As far as the art style, like yeah, Invincible looks good, but it's okay. What's up, Addy? Shark teeth, hoo ha ha. Well, yeah, of course there's going to be animes that suck. I'm not saying they're all brilliant, but when I've seen that level of skill and it happened to have been anime, specifically the Ghost in the Shell and Ninja Scroll, I'm like, yep, if when it can be this beautiful, going back and watching X-Men 97 is like, I can watch it for the nostalgia and how much I loved it at the time, but it is not even close. And again, I understand that it's a like a weekly American TV show versus like a big budget super movie from Japan. That's a totally different thing. Ninja Scroll is the one. Yeah, that thing was just. It's like, I can't believe this ninja story could be this. And it starts out with that perfect scene. It's just the bridge and the wind blowing. It's all atmospheric and kind of silent to start. I'm like, oh man, this is so good. This is freaking fantastic. Yeah, Sheldon, you got to watch it. Yeah, see, me and Mitch wholeheartedly recommend it. We're like Siskel and Ebert. If we both recommend it, you have to do it. I just made that rule up right here on the spot. Be prepared. I do like to warn people though. If you've got an aversion to like sex in anything you want to watch, specifically animation, like do not have your kids around. Good Lord, please do not have your children around when you watch that. Not that I don't know if you have any kids, Sheldon, but for anybody. Yeah, Ninja Scroll suddenly takes a weird turn about, I don't know, what, 20 minutes in? I agree with this rule. It's just a little blood. Just a little bloody. Just a little. Just a bit. Addie, a friend of yours, was describing a book. First one was fine, and then the next one was kind of icky. Icky, icky, icky. Ginger Bear, what's up, dude? Ginger Bear. Ginger, are you addressing me or Mitch? Mitch does a set one on Wednesday nights, so I had some free time, so I wanted to get one in before he gets started because I didn't want to step on his time because that's kind of a set thing, and we have a lot of crossover watchers, and so I didn't want to like I'm on, but he's on, and so I thought I'd jump on, try to get a little bit of drawing in before he goes on. I could work double shits. Yeah, Mitch. I mean, not to put you on the spot on the live stream, but if you're looking for a co-streamer, I would join you on yours if you're interested. No, no hassle. Not to put you on the spot, but I just did. Yeah, Addie only stops in to watch my streams on occasion. She's she's got a good head on her shoulders. She's young and not going to get buried under the social media nonsense, at least theoretically, maybe until she's older. But she shows up to chat us up here, and she's very welcome. I could join you tonight if you wanted, Mitch. Again, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I know you didn't plan on it, and but if you're interested, when the time comes, I'll just be done with mine, and I could jump over there, and we could all have a big powwow. If you're okay with it. Again, I'm not trying to muscle in anywhere. Okay, yeah, Mitch, if you're good with that, I mean, if you're cool with it, then that would be fun. That'd be a fun one. Addie, are you asking me to please don't die before then? He's like, I will now eat food in preparation. Sheldon telling me I have to go the whole time. Man, you sound like girls that I've known for a while. You have to go the whole time, Rob. I'm like, I'm not a young man anymore. I am 5 months away from 50, and it's really messing with me. Yeah, yes, Ginger. That's what I meant. I'm talking about shopping. What else could I possibly mean? I'm like 7 months older than Star Wars. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. When I'm 70, I should be like, remember when I was 50? I was like a kid. I had my own place and I wasn't shitting myself all day. I was drawing comics and talking to people online. I had a YouTube channel that was going okay for a minute. Yeah, Concrete. I am not a fan of literally anything current Star Wars. Current Star Wars has actually made me kind of hate the brand altogether. I'm just sick of Star Wars. I'll always enjoy the original movies for sure. I know, Ginger. That's what everyone says. Everyone says Andor's great. And here's the thing. I believe Andor is great. But here's the other thing. All the other shit that's come out has made me not like Star Wars so much. I don't care if there's something good anymore. I'm sick of the brand. You know, it's been beaten out of me. I don't care anymore. I acknowledge and I understand that Andor is rave reviews, but I have no interest in watching it. Just nope, don't care. I'm over it. Kid Vector, I wasn't shitting myself all day. Good thing you had your headphones on. Yeah, rolling too much apathy to even care about Andor. And again, Ginger, I totally get it. I've heard nothing but good stuff. But yeah, Panda, your same sentiment on Star Wars is the exact reason I don't watch any current era Turtle stuff. Kind of for the same reasons. I never did get to see the Turtles in comics. So my first exposure to the Turtles was the cartoon, which I was kind of soft on, but man, that first movie, I am all about that first movie. And that's when I think of Turtles, that's who I think of. That's the Turtles to me, are those guys. So whenever I see action figures like re-released utilizing those facial structures, so it looks like them, I'm like, yep, that's my Turtles. That's them right there. I'm into that shit. That's my jam. I've watched that movie so many times. I had the soundtrack and listened to it over and over and over. 9.95. Mauricio, I'm old. I hate everything. I seem to remember hearing about the Last Ronin, but I didn't follow that it was going to happen, but then now it doesn't. It isn't. It's another bummer. Turtle power. Turtle power. Turtle power. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The half shell, they're the heroes for. In this day and age, who could ask for more? The crime was high, with muggings mysterious. Police and detectives were serious. This lethally evil force. Yeah, the soundtrack, it's such a banger. Yeah, I used to listen to all those songs over and over and over. I didn't love all of them, but there was enough. And I also loved the inclusion of the some of the instrumental score. That Shredder theme with the heavy bum 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 when Shredder first showed up. That's one of my favorite like introductions of a cinematic villain ever. Like it's up there as awesome with like anything in my opinion, you know, like kind of like with Darth Vader as an entrance, because Shredder was a I can't rap. I know I can't rap. You know, he was such a goofball in the cartoon, but in the movie, he was a hyper deadly badass. Like the turtles could not beat him. They just couldn't. And even he's like, you know, you might have beat me with the loss of just one of you, maybe, but now that you're all disarmed, I'm going to kill you all. Like that end battle was intense. And like Shredder's a badass. So yeah, that Shredder's sweet. Yeah, for sure. Yes, the second movie is a big downgrade, but there's stuff to enjoy about it. Yeah. It's not great. It lost like they dumbed it down. I what I love about the first Turtle movie is that it feels like they just made a movie. And there's comedy and action adventure, but there was real serious themes in it, you know, and it got kind of violent the way they beat the holy piss out of Raphael. Um, you know, it was fine for kids, but it wasn't dumbed down for kids. And then part two, boy, did they dumb it down. But there's still some fun stuff in it. We all had local hangout in our neighborhood with games and skateboard ramps and ninjas when we were kids, right? All indoor, where kids could go in there and smoke cigars. That would have been the coolest place to be, which is why they designed it that way. They're like, let's make something that kids would really want to do. Video games, grub, smokes, skating. That'll get the kids in the seats. Oh yeah, I even dig that Vanilla Ice song. I'm into it. Yo, it's the Green Machine. Again, it's not objectively great, but it's fun. Yeah, Toka and Razor, they were kind of awesome. I mean, we all wanted Bebop and Rocksteady. It's like, why couldn't they give us the one that the things that we wanted? Like, is it so hard? Like, you made a giant wolf and a turtle. Why couldn't you make a giant pig and a rhino? Is that what they were? And to be fair, those last modern live action Turtles movies, I kind of like the second one. That one, it was, you know, the Turtles were like these oversized monstrosities, but I kind of thought that second one with the Technodrome and all that shit, I like it better than the first one. That was it's kind of fun. Hog and a rhino, right? Yeah. You know what joke? You know, we're talking about the humor in the second one. Like, some stuff just lands. It's the dumbest joke. It's the most obvious joke, but it gets me every time how dumb it is, and I love it. Remember when Raph is trapped and they're going to look for him, and they're like, it's too quiet. Like, it's quiet. They're like, yeah, a little too quiet. And they do another version of that. Yeah, this is easy. Yeah, a little too easy. And then, like, there's Raph. And they're like, yeah, a little too Raph. It's the dumbest joke, and I love it. I laugh every time. Ginger, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I was talking about the second Michael Bay produced one, but I'm now back to the original live action one. Yeah, Concrete, the joke. Are you going to use napkins? What for? Yeah, all the turtles are like, why? Why would we use napkins? What's the point? So April just throws them on the ground. Like, all right, fine. A little too Raph. Oh, yeah, everybody, in case you guys didn't know, Ginger Bear has worked in the movie industry. He was the previs supervisor on the second Turtle movie. My man here has done legit work for Hollywood. You came up with the whole plane crash sequence. Dude, that's awesome. Panda, yes, that was a great joke. Where the girls just brush him off. She's like, dream on. He's like, all right, but when I do, I'll dream of something thinner. It's a little rude, but they were rude to him first. So it's all fair, dude. Yeah, that was a great one. I laughed my butt off in that one. 100%. I'll dream of something thinner. Oh, man. But yeah, Concrete Ginger worked on legit stuff. But yeah, I thought that second Turtles movie, the Michael Bay one, I know he didn't direct them, but it might as well be. It was kind of fun. A little bit irreverent and silly and goofy, but I had more fun on the second one than the first one. I mean, they had the whole ass turtle van. Like they leaned into the Turtles toy stuff completely. Like a turtle van with arms that like flipped nunchucks. What? Are you kidding? Somebody was like, just do the fucking cartoon. Just do it. And then yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady. They were exactly right. They were kind of fun and goofy. Yeah, shooting manhole covers. Yeah, Roland. Ginger works at Blizzard right now, right? Ginger, that's still your current gig, right? You've been there for a while. Correct? Not trying to speak for you, but I can help speed along conversations if I can see him. Tell him who one of your coworkers are, who you know and you talk to. It's relevant to us nerds that read Image Comics. I just spoiled it. Yeah, our boy Ginger Bear, he works with former Team Youngblood artist Chap Yap. They like know each other. Yeah, right? He's like, I work with them. Extreme alum. Yup. Ginger's a guy who knows people. He knows me too, but that's not really a big deal because I'm not anybody. But I know Ginger, and that makes me feel cooler. Ginger, that would be like the greatest possibility. That would be crazy cool. I understand you've said that Chap kind of, if I understand what you've communicated to me, that Chap kind of just out of the comic thing and it's just not even something he even thinks about anymore. Um, but that would be like one of the coolest things ever. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows another guy. And also, I know that I think you said that Chap's kind of still fond of Liefeld, and he might not want to talk to somebody who's talked a lot of shit. So I get that. That's a hole of my own digging. Maybe when things calm down a bit, we've all been slammed with BlizzCon stuff for a year or more. Yeah. Yeah, so I understand if that kills it. You know what? If he is good talking to somebody and he won't, well, you know what? That won't work either. I was actually going to say if he won't talk to me, maybe he'd talk to Mitch. But him and I both talk shit about my felt, so it wouldn't work either way. He and Jeff Matsuda are still close for that's awesome. Matsuda would be a fun guy to talk to. Um, Known for being super fast and all that stuff. Yeah, Ginger's like, I wasn't the writer. Don't blame me for any of the story on this stuff. I didn't do this. Roland, Mitch is even worse than me. Is he? Or is he worse? Are we? We're kind of like brothers in that respect. Now Chap won't talk to you because of me, right? We're all brothers. We all put on pants one leg at a time, right? Sheldon can be a mediator. Concrete. I'm just geeking out right now, right? It's fun to meet people who know people. Yeah, like artists know artists, and you know, you kind of run into people who know people, and then you find out all kind of fun, interesting stuff. Um, so I think I'm gonna get to join Mitch. I think that was the agreed upon thing, and I think Ginger, you're kind of a big deal. You are a big deal. Um, and I think Mitch is going to start in about half an hour. So I'm going to shut mine down and do a couple things real quick before that one gets going. So I'll be back on over with Mitch unless he changes his mind. He's like, Rob can go to hell, which I wouldn't blame him. But I'm going to jump off here and then be back with him shortly, in about half an hour. All right, Ginger. Yep, I'll catch you all over there. I'll enter it like the ultimate warrior. Come running down and scream. All right, guys. See you in a bit. Oh, Ray Dillon, son of a bitch. Hey, Ray. I'm going to show back up on Blood Force Mitch's channel about half hour if you're interested. Come stop by there.